The Ontario Festival of Small Halls makes its return, and here to tell us all about it, we are joined by Tori Rogers, Project Manager for the Ontario Festival of Small Halls. Welcome, Tori.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you here.
Great to be here.
Let's talk about this festival. Give us a little background, a little history on the festival.
Yeah, so the model originally started in PEI in 2008, I believe. And then Australia actually liked the model and took it to Australia. So there's a Small Halls in Australia and PEI, and we started the Ontario version in 2014, which is 3 shows.
And it's very unique, right? In the fact that, you know, it's called Small Halls for a reason, but maybe you can talk a little bit about what makes this particular sort of festival incredibly unique.
Yeah, it just gives a chance for different artists to get into maybe a different pocket of community that they haven't been before, as well as the viewers or the people that are going to these series or these concerts. It's a different show, a different experience, very intimate, and yeah, we just have a blast doing it. Very communal feel,
right?
Almost like family. It's good to be, you know, back in it again.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, when it comes to live performance, everybody is just so excited to have it back. And I think what else makes this unique is the fact that you get introduced to communities as well, right? Communities
Absolutely.
get introduced to the artists and vice versa. Let's talk about why and how it's so important to these smaller communities.
Well, I mean, typically you would, you know, on a road trip, you'd pass by these communities, and there's often these halls that are standing there going, you know, you don't see very much in them happening, and it's a chance to awaken those halls again. And a lot of them have that rich history in them, and we're happy to be fulfilling those spaces. And as well, it's bringing a little bit of tourism to that little pocket of Eastern Ontario and what we're trying to do. So whether you come and do a day trip, or whether you come and stay overnight, or experience some of the restaurants that are around there, or maybe some markets, or you know, just kind of experience and you know, take in the whole day and evening. Yeah,
and I think it's a great time of year as well, right? When we think of festivals, we often, especially in Canada and in our climate, we often think of the summer festivals, but this is really a great opportunity, you know, to have something in the fall to bring people back out, you know, before we kind of hunker down as many of us do in the winter. Highlight some of the great acts that are going to be going through these communities. Yeah,
this year's lineup is pretty incredible. We have Ashley McIsaac coming back.
Nice.
Elliot Brood, Jim Bryson from Stittsville. We have, oh my gosh, Kelly Loader, who is a runner-up in Canada's Got Talent. Willie Staton is his name, sorry.
We always want to say Nelson, right? When we have that name off the top of our head.
Yeah. But first time in the area, there's a lot of East Coast feel that we have coming in. We have Ron Sexsmith joining us this year.
Nice.
The Irish Descendants, Cassie and Maggie. Yeah, the lineup is incredible this year. It's hard to kind of pick and choose what shows you're going to be at, but yeah, some favorites and some newer that are introduced that a lot of people have a nice experience with. They get to connect with the artists, and often becomes a fan favorite, you know, in these shows.
Well, and because it's so intimate, I imagine there's a lot of interaction, right? You know, these artists just really feed off of having an audience, and when it's such a small hall and an intimate interaction, I think you get to know the artists a lot better than you would in a bigger venue.
Definitely. A
lot of conversations happen, right?
It does,
in these types of
a lot of storytelling. You get kind of a little bit of a history. You see all, like, you know, everything coming together, whether it's impromptu, you know, piano solo, or a clap along, or audience participation, or, you know, it just has a warmer, rich feeling than some of these bigger concert halls that you're seeing.
Yeah, for sure. I was telling you before the show, you know, my wife and I were, you know, a little upset that we couldn't go because we have some friends that are going to this really special chef's table, right? It's that farm to table idea.
Definitely.
Give us the details on that.
Yeah, so this is happening in Lyndhurst at Furnace Falls Farm, October 22nd, I believe, is what we're running for that one, and it's featuring Cassie and Maggie for the performance, but they're doing a farm-to-table dinner beforehand. So everything is pretty much locally grown, with Wendy's market that is in conjunction with Furnace Falls Farms. So they grow everything. They do preserves. They grow flowers. And this really beautiful venue that's a barn, and people rent it for weddings and shows and photo shoots, and it's going to be a really great time.
Tori, how did you get involved? Why did you want to get involved?
I mean, I grew up in a small town, and so I know the feeling, and I love the communal kind of feel of this. And having experience working in a smaller venue just outside of Renfrew in the little corners of Burnstown, so that's where I had my experience.
Great spot.
And again, it's the four corners that you often drive by and going through. So this festival I've been with now for 8 of the 9 years that we've been running. So it's been a treat. I love doing it. I jump on the opportunity every time I'm asked, and it's really, really wonderful.
But what was the experience like growing up in a small town for you?
You had to kind of make your own entertainment. So a lot of the times, to kind of keep busy, I was involved in sports, I was involved in arts, I was involved in music. A lot of the time we had, gatherings where there was music involved, and it was just a couple of your buddies playing, plugging into, their amps and their guitars. And we had a 100-acre farm, so they were able to do it. And we love it. Music runs pretty thick, and
tickets, I imagine, available in advance to all of these intimate concerts, right?
Yeah, and some shows have sold out already because the capacities are smaller. Anything under 250 shows, usually an average of about 80, 90 seats for these shows. So tickets go relatively quickly, but available on the website at ontariosmallhalls.com.
Excellent. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Again, that is happening October 6th, 8th, 14th, 16th, and 21st to the 23rd. We'll be right back.